Hey everyone, it's Rex, and today I want to talk to you about proven values that top leaders share. So, as a leader, a manager, in that role, you're going to be having not only working on your technical skills, but also a lot of your social and people skills as well. And sometimes a lot of people forget about that when they get either promoted into a management role where they're in charge of a few people. So, if you follow these proven values, which you can definitely work on, you can definitely build, you will elevate yourself as a better manager, as a better leader. You want to be a leader and not just a manager. And you'll be able to get the people to build their cooperation and form around you, and it'll allow you to get things done. So let's get to it. But before we do, make sure you smash that like button and hit subscribe. Number one of the proven values that top leaders share, it's be supportive. This is my favorite because without it, you're not going to have a team that will want to follow you and allow you to lead them. So being supportive, being a manager and in that kind of role, there's a lot of times that you can get very negative. You can have upper management down your throat, yelling at you, threatening your job. Trust me, I've been there. They send you the emails in the morning telling you that if you don't do this, they're going to get somebody else that will. And it starts at 5 a.m., 6 a.m. emails. You also have the clientele that, if somebody messes up, you get frustrated, you kind of get agitated, but you got to learn that you shouldn't act out of those emotions. And really, building up your team is going to elevate those guys and their skills. And I mean, it's just being supportive, cutting out that negativity. It's going to be a huge advantage to you and your team, and it's going to make you that much better as a leader and a manager. And you're going to get a lot more things done. All right, so value number 2, and that's going to be patient. So when you're in the management role, when you're in the leader role, you're going to have to be patient because different employees, different people on your team, they're going to have different aptitudes of how fast and how slowly they learn. So you don't want to make rash decisions out of your emotions. You just have to kind of sit back. It's just kind of like being a parent to a bunch of people, a bunch of kids, and you got to be a little bit more patient with them and their progress and getting things to where they need to be. I will say this was probably one of the harder skills that I've had to learn, the harder values, because I'm a very quick learner, I'm very fast, I'm upbeat, I'm on it, and when I went from being just managing myself as a salesman to managing a whole team, I really got to see the difference in their aptitudes and how fast this person learns versus how fast this one, and how fast they pick it up versus how fast they do. So be patient, and I promise you it's going to pay off in the long run. Right, so value number 3 for top leaders, and that's going to be communicate clearly. When you're trying to get your message across, when you're trying to set up your end goal, if you can't communicate clearly and effectively to your team, it's going to be a disconnect there, and it's going to cause a lot of confusion, and you're going to just set yourself up for failure. So, communication and really being patient, this can be tied together, because you might have to be patient in getting your message across to your staff and your team and your employees. Without a clear communication between you and your staff, there's going to be a disconnect. Everything's going to fall apart. So communicate clearly, get the message to them, and you'll be on your way to winning. All right, guys, so number 4 is going to be take chances, make the risk, and don't be afraid to fail. This is huge. So going along with the be supportive, you're going to want to encourage your employees, your staff, your team to take risks. And it's not just like off the wall risk. You tell them, it's calculated risk. You have to understand, what you're going for versus what could happen if you fail. And I'm not saying about going out and lying to people and doing that sort of thing, but allowing your employees to go after and take the chance and take the risk. And if they fail, make sure you are still supportive in that failure. Failure is a huge lesson learner. They say you learn more from failure than you ever do from winning. And I believe that. Michael Jordan always says that. You look at that guy, all the shots he's taken, all the shots he's missed, but he's still a legend in his sport, and really much to anybody in the world. But make sure you take chances. Don't ever just play it safe. Playing it safe, you're going to miss 100% of the chances, 100% of the shots that you don't take. So encourage your employees to take the chances, make mistakes, and don't put them down for that. Okay, guys, so number 5 is understand others. Now, when I say understand others, you have to understand that good leaders, they understand others before others understand them. And, what I mean is that everybody isn't a cookie cutter on how best to manage and how best to lead them. So you really have to connect on a personal level, get down there in the trenches with them and understand how best it is to coach them and support them in their work. That way you can elevate them, and by elevating them and connecting with them and understanding them, obviously if they succeed, then you succeed as a manager and a leader. So make sure that you understand them and understand how it is that you can best lead them, and don't worry about them understanding you yet, because that's not as important as you understanding your team. And number 6, guys, is going to be share your vision. So all good leaders have a vision, and to execute that vision effectively, you're going to have to be able to communicate it clearly to your employees and your team. If you can't and you don't, guess what? They don't ever know where you guys are trying to go. So if you're, trying to hit 100 cars a month and you don't tell them what our goal is, they really have no idea. They could say, I'll sell 10 cars. They'll be happy with that. But you have to be able to share your goals, and going into sharing your goals, it's going to be communicating it clearly. And the goals should be, they should be specific, so that way they know what it is. They should be measurable, so you can actually rate where it's at and where you need to be. They need to be realistic. You can't go into a car dealership and say, we're going to sell 1,000 cars today, and this dealership's been selling 50 cars a month, and now you're trying to hit 1,000 cars in a month right off the bat. You got to scale it. And then lastly, they should have a time frame, so you can set a shorter time frame goal and a longer time frame goal. So you could set it monthly and then a yearly goal for what you're trying to accomplish. So make sure you share your vision, and that allows them to be on the same page as you. Everybody, so those are 6 proven values that top leaders share. These are, of course, things that you can work on. So it's not like you're born with it or you don't have it. You can definitely work on each one of these values and make yourself better, make your team better, and eventually, you can create that leader and that team that you're looking for to get to success. And it's great, especially for the young people or the people new in, say, car sales or the sales industries, or even just new people starting out in their career. This way, you can start to build these values, and guess what? The upper management will start to see that, hey, you're showing the values of a leader. You're showing that you can get people rallied around you. You can lead people. And that's when then they say, hey, this person is right to move up. The people really are good around them, and they can really rally people and get them effectively working and on course. So if you have any questions, like I said, always comment down below. You can reach out to me, but make sure you hit that like button, subscribe. Like I said, I'll be doing videos, multiple videos weekly. So if you have any questions, comment down below. And thanks again, guys.